There's a famous, slightly absurd statistic that gets repeated all the time. People fear public speaking more than they fear death. As the joke goes, that means at a funeral, the average person would rather be the one in the casket than the one giving the eulogy. It sounds ridiculous. How could standing up and talking possibly be more terrifying than dying? And yet, the dread is real, the racing heart, the shaking hands, the dry mouth, the desperate wish to be anywhere else. So why does the human brain treat a few minutes of speaking in front of others as a mortal threat? The answer is that, in a sense, it once was. Here's the key. When you stand up to speak in front of a group, you are placing yourself in a very specific situation, alone, exposed, with the full attention of many people focused entirely on you, all of them in a position to judge you. And to the ancient parts of your brain, this exact configuration is not a harmless modern presentation. It's one of the most dangerous social situations a human can be in. All eyes on a single isolated individual, evaluating them. Your deep brain reads that and sounds every alarm it has. To understand why, you have to understand how completely our ancestors depended on the group. For a human living in a small tribe, acceptance by the group was everything. Protection, food, mates, help raising children, survival itself. And the flip side was terrifying. To be judged harshly by your group, to be mocked, shamed, lowered in status, or cast out, was catastrophic. Exile from the tribe was often a death sentence. A lone human in the wild, cut off from their people, did not last long. So the brain came to treat the disapproval of the group as a genuine threat to life, because for most of human history, it genuinely was. Now look again at public speaking through that ancient lens. You stand alone before the group. Every eye is on you. Every person is, in your brain's interpretation, evaluating you, judging whether you're competent, whether you belong, whether you're worthy. One bad moment, one stumble, one sign of weakness, and you risk their disapproval, their mockery, a drop in your standing. To your deep brain, this isn't a low-stakes talk. It's a high-stakes trial in front of the tribe, with your very place in the group on the line. And losing your place in the group, the brain still believes, could mean losing everything. This is why your body reacts so physically, so dramatically, often before you've even started. The pounding heart, the sweating, the trembling, the tight throat, the urge to flee. This is the fight or flight response, the body's ancient emergency system, flooding you with adrenaline and stress hormones, preparing you to face a threat or run from it. The problem is that this system can't tell the difference between a charging predator and a room full of colleagues waiting for you to begin your slides. To the alarm, exposure before a judging group is danger, and danger triggers the full physical cascade, whether you're facing a lion or a podium. There's a cruel irony in how this plays out too. The very symptoms the fear produces, the shaking, the blank mind, the quavering voice, are the things you're most afraid of others seeing, which makes you more anxious, which makes the symptoms worse. You become afraid of your own fear showing, and underneath it all is the conviction that everyone can see exactly how terrified you are, that your nervousness is glaringly obvious, that they're all noticing and judging your trembling hands. This belief makes everything spiral, feeding the alarm with the very thing it's afraid of. But here's a piece of genuine relief, backed by how the mind actually works. People can see far less of your anxiety than you think. Inside, you feel like a storm, certain it's visible to everyone. But from the outside, most of your nervousness is invisible. The racing heart, the churning stomach, the panic, all of it is happening inside you where no one can see. Audiences consistently rate speakers as far calmer and more competent than the speakers felt. The gap between how nervous you feel and how nervous you look is enormous. You are not nearly as exposed as your terror insists you are. There's another reframe that's almost magical in how it changes the experience. The physical sensations of fear, the pounding heart, The rush of adrenaline, the heightened energy, are almost identical to the sensations of excitement. The body does nearly the same thing in both. So instead of fighting to calm down, which rarely works and often makes it worse, you can relabel the feeling. Tell yourself, I'm not terrified, I'm excited, I'm energized. This is my body getting ready to perform. People who reframe their anxiety as excitement actually do better because they stop wasting energy battling their own physiology and start channeling it. The arousal was never the enemy. The story you told about it was. It also helps profoundly to shift your focus away from yourself. Public speaking fear is fundamentally self-focused, consumed with, how am I doing? How do I look? What are they thinking of me? But the moment you genuinely turn your attention outward, toward the message you're sharing, and the people you're sharing it with, much of the fear loses its grip. When you care more about giving the audience something valuable than about protecting your own image, the self-consciousness that fuels the terror starts to dissolve. You stop being a defendant on trial and become a person offering something to people you want to help. The tribe stops being your judges and becomes your guests. And know that this fear, like most fears, shrinks with exposure. The first time is the worst. Every time after that, the alarm rings a little quieter because you're teaching your brain, through direct experience, that standing before the group did not, in fact, get you killed or cast out. The danger your deep brain anticipated never materialized. Do it enough, survive it enough times, and the ancient alarm slowly recalibrates. This is why experienced speakers aren't fearless. They've just shown their nervous system, over and over, that the threat isn't real until the body finally starts to believe it. It's worth holding on to the bigger truth underneath all of this. The fear is not a sign that something is wrong with you or that you're uniquely weak. It's a sign that you have a normal human brain, exquisitely tuned by evolution to care about your place among other people. The same wiring that makes public speaking terrifying is the wiring that makes you a deeply social being, that makes you care about connection and belonging and how you affect others. The fear is the shadow side of one of the best things about being human. The next time you have to stand up and speak, and you feel that primal dread rising, the racing heart, the urge to run, remember what's actually happening. An ancient part of your brain is treating a room full of ordinary people as a tribunal that holds your survival in its hands. Because once, being judged by the group really could mean exile and death. But that's not the world you live in now. The audience is on your side. Your nervousness is mostly invisible. And that pounding energy in your chest isn't a warning, it's fuel. The fear isn't of speaking, it's of being seen and rejected. And the beautiful secret is that the tribe, these days, almost always wants you to succeed.